guys, we are back. It's finally summer and we're outside as promised. Today we are talking about protein. This is the most important nutrient for your body. Most of your calories should be coming from it. You guys don't really know what it is, how much to take, why, and when, how often. So we're going to go over all of that. If you were here for the last video, I learned my lesson. I had a tiny whiteboard that I tried to write and then show you guys this way, and it was all opposite. Not really useful for your notes, but this time a little bit more organized. I did just buy fresh markers, and this way you can screenshot it, rewind, however you need to take all this down. But a little bit more prepared this time. So I hope this helps. Again, protein. What is it? So protein is the building blocks of our hair, skin, nails, and muscles. That's pretty much it. It's our hair, skin, nails, and muscles are made up of protein. So hair, skin, nails, and most importantly, our muscles. So if it is made up of our hair, skin, nails, and muscles, we must need a lot of it to maintain our body from looking good. So how much is enough? Most of us are not eating enough, or even the like half the daily requirement. So if you are a sedentary human being, meaning you don't work out, you don't go for walks, you don't really like to move around, in order to still lose weight and maintain that healthy lifestyle, you are going to need 0.8 grams per pound. And that is your minimum, okay? That is your minimum amount that you need. 0.8 grams per pound. So what does that mean? For example, if you are a 100-pound human, which if you're trying to actually lose weight, I doubt that you are 100 pounds. So please don't go off of this as all you need. This is how much you weigh. So your pounds times 0.8 grams, this is going to equal 80 grams of protein that we need daily. So every day, if you are not moving around to maintain your body and a healthy lifestyle and still lose some weight, you are going to be required to have 80 grams of protein per day at a 100-pound person. Now, if you are semi-active, working out, getting a little bit of movement in through the day, maybe in that younger category, we're looking at 1 gram per pound. 1 gram per pound. So again, at a 100-pound miniature person here, we're looking at 100 grams of protein daily. And you're probably looking at me like, hey, that sounds like a lot, because most of you probably only get 30 to 40 grams, if that, of protein per day. So you are clearly not eating enough to lose the weight. Now, say you are weightlifting or active, or trying to gain some muscle, that's going to switch to 1.1 to 1.4 grams per pound. So for instance, for myself, I'm in between that range here, and I'm lifting about 3 to 4 days a week. So at 125 pounds, I eat about 160 grams of protein per day. So 160 grams or even 100 grams of protein, that is a lot of food. Like, you are going to be full, and you're not going to have any other room to be eating the snacks or the chips or the junk that you kind of snack on as you're walking by. So 160 grams or even 100 grams or whatever you need, if you're eating enough of or the right amount of protein for your body, you're really not going to be left with much room to fill yourself with anything else. And so that solves the problem of you're overeating because you're already eating what you need and now you're full. Okay. Why do we need that much protein? Why is that required? So in order to lose weight and maintain our body with the strength that it needs, that much protein is required because it causes a thermic effect. So what I mean by that is high thermic effect, high thermic effect. And that means that when our body is trying to break down that protein and burn it, use it for energy, it takes it a longer amount of time, and our body has to do a lot more work. And so the more work that our body has to do, the more calories it will burn in the process of doing that work. So we are naturally burning more calories from eating the protein than we are, say, fats or carbs. So that looks like 20 to 30% of calories are already burned from eating that protein. That's how hard our body has to work. Whereas from fats, our body only burns the 0 to 3% of the fat that we eat. Our body burns naturally. And if we're eating carbs, our body only burns 5 to 10%. So protein almost doubles our burnt calories, whereas the fat and the carbs is going to stay stored in us and make us look bigger, whereas the protein with the high thermic effect, it's going to be harder for our body to process, so it's going to take longer, more work, which burns more calories for us. Okay, and then from there, when we are also in that calorie deficit, we're going to need that protein to maintain or retain that muscle that we have built. So to maintain muscle. So if you were here for the last video, I told you that calorie deficit is the only way that you're going to lose weight. However, from that calorie deficit, what it does, it breaks down our fats and our muscles combined in order to lose that weight. So every time we lose weight, we could be losing it from our muscles, we could be losing it from fat. But to ensure that we don't lose it from our muscle and lose more from our fat, we're going to need to eat this much protein so we can maintain the muscle and make sure that that calorie deficit burns most of our fat instead of burning off our muscle. So in our calorie deficit, in order to lose weight and keep the strength that we have so we don't get weak, for the maintenance of our muscles, we're going to need the daily amount of protein that I listed here. Another thing of why we need that much protein, or why we need protein in general, is it because it keeps us full longer. So we're going to stay full longer. And if we stay full longer, we won't be eating the extra stuff that we are eating. So full longer, which also in turn boosts our metabolism. So works harder, burns more calories, maintains our muscle, full longer, and boosts our metabolism. And last but not least, it is going to aid in our recovery. So that could be recovery from the gym, that could just be our bodily functions, but protein aids in recovery. And because it is the building blocks of our hair, skin, nails, and muscles, that's going to aid in recovery of all 4 of those things. So if you have issues with your nails, brittle nails, they break, you might not be having enough protein. If you have breakouts or rough skin, you're losing your elasticity, getting more wrinkles. it could be because you're not taking enough protein. Hair loss, shininess, uh, brittle ends, split ends. It could be because your hair does not contain, it's not building enough protein. And again, muscle recovery. Everything is coming from that protein, your hair, skin, nails, and muscle. So that is our why. Now, let's get into when and how often. So, because that looks like so much protein, how are you going to fit that in throughout the day? I mean, that's a lot of food. You are going to split that up between 3 to 5 meals per day. So, 3 to 5 meals daily. Now, we don't want to eat all of that protein at once. That's not going to be healthy for us. And we probably won't be able to consume all of that in one sitting anyways. So we're going to break that up between 3 to 5 meals. And so the 3 to 5 meals is going to have anywhere from 25 to 35 grams per meal. And that could also look like maybe a couple snacks in between that. You can have a beef stick. That's your 10 grams of protein right there. So within the 3 to 5 meals and maybe a few snacks a day, you should be able to get the amount of protein. That means that you are going to be eating anywhere from between 3 and 5 hours. So throughout the day, every 3 to 5 hours, you are going to have a meal. For me, I do usually every 3 hours, I either have a snack or a meal, and I switch out depending on how I feel. And lastly, if you are working out or lifting or going for a walk, any type of activity, you need to replenish your body with that protein within the 30-minute span of your workout, especially if you are lifting weights or trying to gain muscle instead of just maintaining it. You are going to need to replenish your body with that protein within 30 minutes. That is very crucial for the absorption of what your body needs in order for that muscle growth. So that's pretty much it. We have our protein, what it is, how much you need. I know it looks like a lot, but you absolutely need this much. I cannot stress it enough. I sound like a broken record, but this is so important. As close as you can get to your goals here. Told you exactly why, when, and how often, and that's it. If you have any other questions about it, you can email me, drop your questions in the comments. And at the next video, we are going to talk about the sources of protein. So what types of foods to get it from, how much it's going to provide, and what 100 grams of protein actually looks like in food. It sounds like a lot, but it doesn't really look like much. And so I'm going to weigh it all out for you. We're going to see what it looks like. I'm going to tell you the top sources, how to prepare them, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to ask you to subscribe again, like, share this video with someone who needs something a little sweet in their life. Remember to drop all your questions below. Check the comments for the information and some of my links to some items that I use. That's pretty much it for protein today. Yeah, I hope you stick around. Bye.